So,
I don't think they heard that, Dad. Let's go.
and when I was 6 years old, we went out to the reservation my dad homesteaded.
Tell them what a reservation is, Dad.
And, what?
I don't think they know what a reservation
It
is.
was an Indian reservation. They homesteaded some ground, they cleared it. They built a cabin, then they put a stove in it. And they'd build a fire in the stove, then go out and work on the cabin. And they'd get cold, they'd come in and let the warming oven down and warm their feet. So we lived right with the Indians. And about, around noon, this little Louis Efforts, an Indian, came over. And he got cold. Dad says, go in the house and get your feet warm. So he did, went in and let the oven door down, come back out, and he said to Dad, "You cook 'em, cat?" Dad said, "What do you mean, cook 'em, cat?" And he said, "You cook 'em, cat." So Dad went in and the cat had crawled them in the oven, and they closed the oven, and the cat was in there, they didn't know it. So they had to throw the stove away and go get a new one.
They had to cook
And
cat.
this same little old Indian, he'd come and, maybe 3 times a week and steal me. He was about 12, 13, and he'd take me up and back to the house in the boulders and hide me.
How old were you?
6, and then Mother'd hunt me. She couldn't find me, and he'd keep me hid up there. So one day he'd always come to the house and peek around the corner and to see where Mother was. So she hid behind on the corner of the house one day and took the broom. Old Louis come around the house and peeked his head around the corner. She lowered the broom right on his ear and tore the broom. Stinging me through. Anyway, it was about 2 weeks before he ever come back. So his father come. Dad said, "Here comes Louis." He take a step and take another step, and he finally kept coming back, but he never took me in the hill no more.
What would he do when he kidnapped you? I mean, did you want to go?
Oh yeah, I want to go. I'd look for him.
Dad?
And there were snakes and things too. Was there? Oh yeah.
Isn't that where you got this scar?
No.
Oh, I thought that's where you got the scar. What reservation was it? Where was it?
It was, I don't know, Ute Reservation.
Out by Duchesne, wasn't it?
Huh?
By Duchesne?
It was 25 miles west of it. Yeah. And anyway, we had one schoolhouse and they taught 8 grades in one school. One teacher. Had to ride a horse 6 miles.
Did you hear that? You said.
And
They did that where we was at.
then the water, the river would freeze over. So I'd break the ice and my horse till it got so stiff I couldn't. Then I'd leave it on the other side and walk across the river until the ice got thick enough to hold a horse. And it was anywhere from 20, 25, 40 below, and I had to ride 6 miles.
And then when spring comes, it's interesting.
So, in the spring when the high water come, then I'd have to swim the river on the horse. And Dad would take me down, and I'd climb up on top of the old horse and swim it across, and I'd get across, he'd leave. Then I had to wait at night till he'd come back, watch me cross it. Throats there. And anyway, when we get to school when it was cold, the old horse would be just foam, you know, with steam. We had a barn there and the blankets, put them in and hay.
Don't take all my stuff
And we had 8 grades and 1 teacher. There was about 25 kids and they was all different grades, you know. And we had an Indian out there. His name was Dick One Rose. And his wife's name was Sadie. And they were married by Bishop Rasmus. And he said that if he was a good Indian, quite old. And when he died, he was perfect.
Barbara and I signed. I went to the mortuary, he would just spotted turning white all over. His hands were almost all white. They sprayed, and he had spots all over his whole body.
They didn't just go out and take a whole berry at a funeral.
Barbara.
Okay.
Anyway, this lady went, they went right across, and she moved over to Tabby, and she found the guy. And before that, my dad had a name.
Honey, I'm trying to take pictures now. We'll watch it later.
And then Indians.
Yeah, you just look over there because you were getting
Feathers, feathers from Dick One Road. That was 15 miles up Rock Creek.
It's because you were getting that Ryan, huh?
And Dad had a doctor
Let me
out of
see.
Duchesne come out.
I'm trying to take pictures.
Come up, took the light up and looked at him, and he left a whole case of whiskey. Told Dad that's all he could do for him. And he drank 2/3 of that case, and the Indians cured him.
Indians cured him.
That's what they claim. Yeah.
Tell him about the time you stole chickens.
What?
The time you stole chickens.
I wasn't supposed to tell that.
And what happened to you? Because you stole a chicken.
Sarah, listen, sit down, let's play.
Well, Roy and I, my uncle, decided we needed a little candy. We just kids, so we went over the fence to the neighbors and stole a chicken. Went up to old man Smith, the butcher shop. He bought it. And it had a tag on its leg. So after we left, he called Mother and he said, or he called Mr. Carlisle. She said, "Did you sell Orville the chicken?" "No." "Well, I've got one of your chickens up here." So of course, then he called Mother. So when I come from school, while Dad was sitting there with his belt, he said, "I'll give you 5 minutes to go buy that chicken back. You go take it back to Mrs. Carlisle. You tell her that you're sorry that you stole her chicken." So I took it back to Mrs. Carlisle, only I didn't look at her. I didn't look at the chicken.
What about the time you got locked in the chicken coop?
Well, we was going to have a chicory.
Chicory when we were kids, stole them,
Me and
cooked them.
Pope Turner were supposed to get the chicken. The other guy's supposed to get the bread and so forth. So I was catching the chickens and handing them to Pope, and he had a sack. Old man Hicken come out of the kitchen door, and Pope ran with the chickens. And I dared, because he was close. He come and locked the chicken coop. Left me in the coop. So I cut the wire and got away. Then we used to chase wild dogs.
Did you? Out on the desert, huh?
The snow would get
Bread.
like that, you know, it could run right over
Yeah.
top.
Ounce of bread when she.
Wild horses. What'd you sell them? Break them and sell them, or just sell them?
Well, he just break them and trade them all. Yeah.
What happened?
Anyway, when I was about probably 3 or 4 years old, this one, or younger, Dad bought me a little cotton rope. and we only lived about a block and a half from Grandma. So she kept missing the chicken. I roped these chickens to break their neck. And I'd have to fight them. Well,
He used to rope us when we were going to school. Every day we go to school, he'd rope us.
They wrote mother.
Yeah.
I always catch her by the leg. Oh, Matt does that.
What was the time what was Billy telling me about Alice's bread?
I don't know.
When Alice buried the bread.
When Alice buried the bread? I don't know.
When Alice got married and she made some bread that wasn't good, and so she buried it, so her husband wouldn't know.
Who?
Alice made bread when she got married and buried it. Well, if you don't, I guess you don't remember. What else you start to tell?
Anyway, my uncle was a great one to pull tricks on kids. So we was up the sheep herd, and I know he dumped a bucket of water out. It was dark.
Cody.
And then he said to me, you go get a bucket of water. It was about 50 yards to the spring. So I grabbed the bucket, went over to the spring to get some water. I just got it under the spout over there, and he grabbed me. So I pulled around, and we had a big galvanized bucket, and I hit him right side the head of this bucket, knocked him colder than a cucumber. Then I ran. I didn't know who it was. I ran back. Dad says, "Where's the water? Where's Al?" I said, "Is that who was over there? You better go get him. He's on the ground over there." I cut his head down here in that big bucket. He didn't scare me no more. I don't look good anymore.
Cody, I want you to come here.
Then one time you climbed up in the cupboard and broke all the dishes.
Yeah.
You're older then.
Well, anyway,